welcome back to Foster English. Today we're going to be looking at a new kind of word, conjunctions. This is the last kind of word or part of speech that Foster English is going to deal with almost exclusively. Again, it's not to say that there's not more kinds of words or people don't order or group kinds of words differently, but this video will conclude the introductory material of the Big Six. So those are the shapes that we have in our symbol. We have the square for nouns, the circle for verbs, the triangle for adjectives, the balloon or the ice cream cone or the marker for adverbs, the plus sign for prepositions, and now this weird sort of X, this cursive X, or maybe this X that you would see in a math equation, but that is the sign or the symbol or the shape that we're going to use for conjunctions. And again, this is to remind you of the function of conjunctions. Conjunctions are used to connect or join together ideas, phrases, or clauses by way of some kind of relationship. There are, generally speaking, 3 different kinds of conjunctions, and we're only going to briefly introduce them today because each of these different kinds of conjunctions will ultimately require video content of their own. But the 3 different kinds of conjunctions are coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and correlating conjunctions. So let's look very briefly at each category one at a time. Coordinating conjunctions coordinate. And I know that's a horrible definition, so we're going to go a little further than that. To coordinate means to make to work together. Right? If you're in charge of coordinating an event, you want to make sure all of the parts or pieces, places, and people, everything is organized and works together. What do coordinating conjunctions do? They put ideas in a particular order by way of particular relationships. And really, there are 7 coordinating conjunctions that you should be very familiar with. And these are fanboys. And no, I don't mean adolescents, males who are very fond of a person, place, thing, or idea that are fans and boys. I mean fanboys, which is an acronym, meaning each letter in fanboys stands for another word. And the words are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These 7 words, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, are the most common ways to connect clauses together by some manner of relationship. So shows cause and effect, more effect. But shows contrast. Yet, in this context, shows contrast, similar to but. Or shows choice. All of these words connect ideas, phrases, or clauses together in some way. Like links in a chain. Next, we have subordinating conjunctions. To subordinate means to sort of make lower, right? If you're in some sort of a business setting and you are maybe a manager or a, C-level executive suite, whatever, then you would have subordinates, people who are lower in the hierarchy than you. And what subordinating conjunctions do is they create a sort of grammatical hierarchy where one thought becomes more important than another thought. And we determine this importance by talking about independent clauses and dependent clauses. You can't have a subordinate without someone that is answered to. right? So similarly, you can't have a dependent clause or a subordinate clause without another clause there that this clause has to be sort of connected with or answer to. Subordinating conjunctions are words like because, if, though, or sometimes the phrase even though, even if, okay? So not all conjunctions are single words, sometimes they are phrases or groups of words that go together to create a single idea. In which case, we would just call the phrase the conjunction. Just like verb phrases, they all go together to create one idea. So there are conjunctive phrases. Anyway, lastly, we have the correlating conjunctions. And to correlate means, similarly to coordinate, to put into some kind of an order. But with correlative conjunctions or correlating conjunctions, we have pairs in separate clauses to establish a complementary effect. And I don't mean compliment like you're pretty or you look great today. I mean complement like coffee and donuts go together really well, right? To complement, in this context, spelled with an E, not an I, means goes together, right? So they sort of have a mutual relationship. So these are pairs of words, often in separate clauses to connect the pair. Either or, neither nor. The, and I know that sounds weird, the, but think of idioms or phrases or clauses like the bigger, the better. That is an example of a correlating conjunction to show the like movement or like connection of two ideas. They correlate. As one goes up, the other goes up. As one goes down, the other goes down. They are related that closely together. So again, we have coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and correlating conjunctions, all of which we'll go into more detail later on, but these are conjunctions, and thus endeth the introductory content of Foster English, by way of showing you the reason for the signs in our logo, in our logo. The square, the circle, the triangle, the weird little balloon or ice cream cone marker for the adverbs, and then the plus sign, and now the cursive X, or the chain link. And those, respectively, are for the nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. I hope that you will stay with us as we explore this language all the more. If you have anything you would like to see, please comment below. Otherwise, we will continue through our plan. And next on the agenda is actually a little break. But after the break, I'll be back with more verb tenses. We'll be looking at the continuous or progressive verb tenses in a couple weeks. So thank you again. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, communicate, because that is what this is all about.